know what a big topic this is. Queen Erica is going to be shutting down every preconceived notion you had about financial literacy and a relationship and what it does and how you can utilize it, how you can master it, and different type of tips and frameworks that she uses.
You're muted. Come on, mute, off mute. I'm sorry, I had to mute.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back on. Go ahead.
I'm good. Y'all can hear me? So she's going to be teaching you guys a lot about financial literacy, how to use it to build relationships, grow your personal relationships, and different keys on that using her framework. So I'm super excited. I hope everybody's ready. If you haven't, turn on your cameras, turn on so we can see the engagement. We want to be able to look at you. After she drops a couple bars, make sure you're ready to tap in to give your realization on what you got from the takeaways. And we're going to go right in from there. So Queen Erica, the floor is yours. Let's get it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2. Yes, let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. I see my girl Jana up there clapping. I see my girl. Yes. I cannot wait to get through today. So excited about what we're going to be talking about and discussing today, y'all. Financial literacy, okay? So some people like to call it, I forget what couple out here, which one of these couples out here, but they call it being financially lit, right? And I thought that was so cute because that was such a play on words. Like, we not only want to be lit in love, we don't want to just be lit personally, but we want to be financially lit, okay? Meaning financially literate, understanding the importance and the fundamentals of money and how that actually shows up and affects your relationship, okay? So that's kind of the premise, the preface of what we'll be discussing today. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it, y'all. Let's do it, okay? So when it comes to the 5 pillars of wifehood, one of the top priorities in wife life is being financially lit, right? So when it comes to financial literacy, this is the possession of the set of skills and knowledge that allows an individual to make an informed and effective decision with all of their finances, okay? So sometimes we think about financial literacy and we think, you know, that's just something that I need as a single woman, or because I haven't found my man yet, my spouse yet, my husband yet, that's when I'm going to focus, you know, I'm just going to focus on finances until I find my Prince Charming. And then once my husband comes along, I'm not going to need to worry about finances anymore. I'm just going to be, you know, dependent on him financially, and I'm going to be the homemaker, right? Now, nothing wrong with being the housewife. Nothing wrong with not being the financial provider, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. But we really need to understand some qualities and some details and tactics about finances. Let me just ask y'all this, okay? And whoever can answer this question, I would love for you to come off mute. If you could wake up tomorrow and you never had to work again, someone came and told you that message, hey, Queen, just wanted to let you know that today was, or yesterday was your last day of work, you never have to work again, what would you do with the rest of your days? Anybody can answer that question for me? Jana. Okay, girl.
Oh, there we go. Hi. If I was told that yesterday was my last day, I would start doing something like maybe drop shipping or try to put some money into something so that money can grow. Or wait, okay, so if it's my last day, do I have any money or what's going on?
Yeah, you have money. You have money. You have money.
Yeah, I would start investing or doing strictly some work from home or selling some type of product or write a book or something.
Yeah. But guess what? Most women don't think about that. Most women don't think about what would happen if that was a situation. I know because it happened to me, right? Once I was preparing myself for wifehood, this was one of the areas that, oh my goodness, it caused me to struggle so much because I never dreamt of being a housewife. I've never thought about not working, right? I thought about having a business or having, you know, investments or things like that one day, but I never really thought of who I was outside of my job, outside of my finances, outside of the money I was making, right? That was my life. I wake up, I do what I need to do for work, I come home and I do all the other stuff for myself. That was my life, my day to day. But once, you know, my husband and I decided to get married, we moved really quick. And it was like, you know, come to, you know, relocate to this city and you'll be working with me. We're going to turn up in this department and in the entrepreneur world. And that's it. Do you know how I felt, y'all? Right? Most people will look at that situation and they'll be like, that's the best situation in the world. Oh my gosh, I envy that. I want that. Really, do you? I felt lost. I felt my identity was lost. I could not understand who I was, what I was doing, where do I go? This is why I realized financial literacy was super key. I needed to understand some fundamental things about how money works, not just making it, but like Jonna was explaining, what kind of investments am I interested in? What kind of things would I do to build a brand or build a legacy or pass down for others to inherit? How would I put my money to work? There was one young lady who I mentored, and she said, yeah, I want to marry an entrepreneur. I want to marry a millionaire. And so I asked her, okay, you married the millionaire. What's your first investment? Crickets. No answer, right? Why? Because we're thinking the pretentious things. We're thinking the luxury, the ability to just get up and not have to go to work, right? But we're not thinking about the actual education, the actual work and the function of money, y'all. Money is just a tool. It's just a tool. It's a tool that you utilize to do something greater. So unless we build that kind of healthy mindset and healthy relationship with money, this can be a real big problem in our relationships and eventually in our marriage, okay? So that is the importance in the preface of financial literacy and the importance of it in wifehood. So when it comes to financial literacy, there was some work that I was able to do before meeting my husband. The first thing was to analyze what my current financial status was. Am I where I need to be when it comes to finances? Am I comfortable? Am I happy? Am I in a good place? Do I have a job that pays enough? Do I have a business that's thriving or doing what it needs to do, right? Whatever situation that I'm looking for financially, what is my current status? Because what I don't want is for us to have the mindset that a lot of people promote, right? Which is do what you can to get by, meet a man who's going to take care of you or support you financially. Again, very good situation, not mad at it at all. But if we're banking on that, we are setting ourselves up to fail. We need to be financially responsible. We need to have financial accountability. We need to make sure that we are making ourselves, putting our effort in to be healthy when it comes to our finances before we meet the man, right? So we have to ask ourselves, how is our current financial situation? If it is not up to par, if it is not up to standard, please do not think that a man is going to resolve that. Because guess what? You're going to give it that man and blow his money. Okay? And he ain't gonna let you blow it out. He's just gonna change the woman. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna move you on out. Okay, she's right. She's not adding to a man. Is not impressed with how much we spend. Right? What's more attractive is how we invest, how we save, how we grow. Right? Those things are very attractive when it comes to finances and marriage. All right. So that's the first thing that I want us to do is understand our financial status. Anybody want to share any realizations or any takeaways from this one before I move on to the next point? Now's the time, y'all. Now's the time. All right. Oh, who's that? Who's that?
It's me. So basically with my name is Poppy. So
Hi, Poppy.
with the financial literacy, basically you mean we have to know what we can afford without the our potential spouse, correct?
It's not just knowing what you can afford, but it's more so understanding what your financial goals are, right? Are you on the path to reaching them? Meaning it shouldn't depend on a man. Your financial goals, your financial health should not depend on a man. That should be healthy or even going towards the direction of health before you even meet the man or before you consider yourself available for the man. That is my recommendation. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Perfect. Okay. Anybody else? Any other realizations or takeaways from this section, or I'm going to move right along? Going once, going twice. Okay. All right. Next. Next on the list, do you have a 5-year plan or financial goal? Meaning, what does your next 5 years financially look like? If it is a job or position, where do you see yourself in the company in 5 years? What company do you see yourself with in 5 years? When it comes to your business, when it comes to your investment, what does your financial plan look like for the next 5 years? You need this goal. You need this goal because this is going to also aid in the decisions that you make. This helps shape who you are. I read a quote today and it said, if you don't have a 5-year financial goal, chances are you're probably already there. Ladies, if you are not satisfied with your current situation, your current financial situation, that is a priority. That is not something, again, that we wait for somebody else to solve or resolve. Though they will help, though they can be an asset in that category, it still needs to be looked at as your responsibility. Because what you don't want is to bring all your unhealthy financial habits into your new situation, or have those financial habits and then think that you're going to get with somebody who is going to accept that or take that or tolerate that or see that as something that's going to add value to them. Why? Because put ourselves in those shoes. Do we want to be the one taking on a bad financial burden? No. So in this singleness, in this preparation stage, make that financial goal a priority. Allow yourself to understand who you are, what you see yourself doing in the next 5 years, so that you can have clear direction on what your future looks like financially. Again, it helps you to make decisions and navigate your life. Okay? Before I move on, anybody want to jump in here?
I have a question again. So with the 5-year goals, is that basically like, where do I see myself in 5 years with my money as well as my life? Like, if currently I work and own a business, so I need to put both goals down? I'm kind of confused there.
Yes, you need to understand what your financial goals look like. Meaning, when you're thinking about your financial goals, separate this from everything else that's going on. Okay, a lot of times we overwhelm ourselves trying to do everything at the same time. But we have to understand that it's important to attack each thing at its own allotted time, which is why we didn't do the everything in one day, right? We started with self-development. We broke down, wrote our goals for self-development. We took notes on self-development. We understood what we needed to work on going forward. So we dealt with that compartment. We dealt with that part of ourselves so that we can create some goals and work on them, right? Now we're moving into financial literacy, meaning if you have not sat down and thought about what your life looks like financially, completely financially, in the next 5 years, you're not doing the work. You're allowing yourself to be even emotionally led in your finances. That is not healthy. It's not the practice of most successful people, right? Most successful people are going to take time, sit with themselves, analyze their current situation financially, right? Get completely transparent with yourself, right? If I'm working at a clothing store, right? Let's say I'm Erica, I'm working at a clothing store, right? At this age, and my financial goal in the next 5 years is to open my own boutique. That's my 5-year goal. That's what I want to make sure that I've accomplished in 5 years. Now I have an opportunity at this time to sit with myself and figure out what is my plan to accomplish my 5-year goal. So I have a framework on how to do this. With my 5-year goal, I break that down to 3 years. And I say, okay, if I want to accomplish opening a boutique in 5 years, what do I need to make sure my next 3 years look like? For the next 3 years, I need to be making sure my credit is good. I need to be making sure that I have taken a couple financial courses. I need to know my loan opportunities, my business opportunities. I need to make sure I have an EIN and a business social, right? I need to come up with a name. I need to find vendors. I have all these things I need to do before 3 years so that in 5 years, I've reached my goal. If I know that that's what I need to do in 3 years, what do I need to do in this next 1 year to make myself more closer to the 3-year goal? So you go from 5 years to 3 years to 1 year. Now I know by the end of this year, I need to make sure I have that business name, that EIN registered. I need to make sure that I have a mentor or a coach or somebody who's leading me and helping me to get to that goal so that I can be successful at whatever I see my finances going in the next 5 years. Right? So now I know what I need to be doing within the year. But what about 6 months? What do I want to accomplish in 6 months? If we don't learn how to plan properly for our finances, we will fail in that area. What are we waiting for? There is nobody on this earth who is waiting to save us financially, y'all. No one. So we have to be intentional in this area as well. It's not enough to have financial goals and no plan. So what I'm saying here is, in this time of preparation, we should have understanding. We should take time and make it a priority to educate ourselves on how to bridge the gap from where we are today to where we aim to be in 5 years financially. It is our responsibility because this is a part of our life and our success and who we are. Nobody else's. Doesn't matter, right? Sometimes people say, again, they want to marry the rich man or the wealthy man. All of that is great. But what if that doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? Then we would have wasted our time, right? We would have been completely delusional about what it is that needs to be a priority or what needs to be worked on up until that time. So instead of letting our financial situation happen to us, we have to be intentional about it. We don't know what might happen in the future, but if we're intentional, we have a better chance at reaching our goal than not. Okay, so again, 5-year goal is great to have, but you're gonna break that down so that you have direction and clarity on how you're gonna get there. We need the plan, okay? Next, what is your plan or methodology for financial success? How many of you guys have sat down and made a plan for your 5-year goal or plan for your next year goal? Anybody could come off mute to share.
For the most part, I kind of like brainstormed what I see in my 5-year plan. I haven't like sat down, took a take for take on what I see year by year, but I know like getting a trade is something I see in like my 1-year plan. And then just going from there, I would develop my 5-year plan.
Right. So now that we're having the opportunity to set it aside, right, to understand this needs to be added to the priority list. How can you go about implementing a new plan or new strategy to attaining your 5-year goal? What will be your plan from now going forward?
What would be my plan? So I guess really to just sit down like with myself, a pen and a paper, and just go line by line on what I see, like strategizing what I see forth from the trade that I plan to receive in a couple of months. Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you think that there's any risk in not doing that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a very like analytical person. I need to write things down. I need to see it in pen and paper like multiple times in order for me to execute. So me not doing that will prevent me from getting where I need to be.
I'm so glad you said that. Because some people, again, will wonder, why is this a part of the wifehood program? Why is this a part of the 5-year challenge, or I'm sorry, a part of the 5-day challenge? But this is a huge portion of who you are. This really gives you clarity on how you're making your next moves. Most women don't sit down and do this. We don't, right? After we graduate college, after we get our career, oh, we're solid, we're good. We're just going through the motion, right? Mm-hmm. No direction, no intentionality. And we're wondering why we haven't gotten closer, or we've only moved a little bit. But then we see people online, or we see our peers, or we see people that we know, or people that we heard of and read their success stories. And I've grown my business to such and such in a year, or I've attained this kind of success in 5 years. This last 6 months I've been working on this. How did they get there? How did they get there?
That's a question you got to ask yourself all the time.
That's my point, Queen.
Yeah.
Question we have to ask ourselves. So I'm challenging all of you to sit down with yourself this week and think about your next 5 years. Think about your financial plan for the next 5 years. Because if you don't, who will? Who will? My plan, my goal is to set you up for success. The world is going to teach you all you need to do is look good or attract the baller, and that's your financial plan. That ain't the tea. That ain't the tea. The tea is being financially lit. Right? So when that opportunity presents itself, you know what to do with it. You can handle that. Your financial goal for marrying that rich man should not be to buy Chanel, to buy the new Bentley, the new Rolls Royce, to have a new body. We got to get serious about our finances. Because if we're not, then we fall for the person who does have the money. And now we're wondering why we settle for someone who treats us any kind of way because he has a golden ticket. Those red flags start looking a little green. Now we can't see clearly. We're not really sure what's going on because we have no education when it comes to our finances. We have no direction when it comes to our finances. This is super important. Super important, okay? Right? So this brings us to our next point of understanding what is our current relationship with money. Are we aware of how money works? How we can grow money? Right? How to leverage our credit? What is our credit situation looking like? Now, this for me personally, I was able to understand the importance of, just when I started to think about my roadmap, right? When I'm, again, bringing y'all back to my 23-year-old self. I'm sitting at my desk. I'm looking out my window. I'm in my career. Okay, this is nice here. This is cool, right? I like my little career. I finished school. All right, I'm doing a little something. That light went off. Okay, I got to get serious about my self-development. Okay, cool, right? Now I'm dressing differently. I'm socializing differently. I'm appearing differently. I'm carrying myself differently. I'm working on myself. I'm investing in myself, right? But then what is my financial situation? What does it look like? Why am I making good money, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck? Why am I making good money, but I have no assets? Right? It's because I wasn't intentional. Why am I have a great car, I live in a nice place, but I've let my credit go. Is this the best financial situation for my future? I said I want to be successful. I said I wanted to have it all together. I said I wanted to help provide for my family. But did I do my part? Am I doing my part? Am I pulling my weight? Or am I the anchor that's going to bring myself, my legacy, my family, my future husband? Am I the one who's bringing us down? So I logged into Credit Karma and I looked at my credit and I said, ooh, that ain't lit, right? Right? So then I went in and I was intentional. I looked at the credit report. I looked at all the debts and I started to consolidate. I started to clean it up. I started to get ready, right? So when I finally met my husband, one of the first questions he asked me was, what's your credit report? Now, of course, right, it might seem invasive, but at this point, he had already proposed. We're already planning to get married and all of that good stuff. So at this point, it's valid for him to know. But y'all, what if I would have never been intentional about my finances and my credit? Yeah, okay, yeah, Jonna, you feel me? You feel me? What if I would have been like, you know what? No, everything's good. It's okay. Everything's all right. It's cool, right? It ain't terrible, but I was not intentional. I saw myself being in a marriage where we have businesses, where we're thriving, where we're educating, where we're doing exactly what we're doing now, but I gotta do my part. Now I understand that's not everybody's situation, that's not everybody's tea. Everybody doesn't have the same goals. But what I'm saying is make your foundation smooth. Give your future something to work with. Make that a priority. Some of us are prioritizing the man, we're prioritizing the marriage, but we're not ready. So what happened when we got married and the credit was good and his credit was good, we were able to be a force. We made investments. We bought our cars. We started our Turo business. We started our Airbnbs. We bought houses. It was lit. It was lit. Why? He did his part, but guess who else was doing theirs? Yeah, baby. I'm with it too. I'm with it too. This is why the acronym that I use for wife is a worthy investment forever. So then ask yourself, financially, are you an investment or are you a liability right now? You don't gotta tell me, but ask yourself, right? Am I valuable right now financially, or am I a liability? If the answer is liability, it's okay. This is the time to prepare. This is the time to fix it, to address it, to get on it. Not for the man, but for yourself, queen. Because guess what? Those same financial habits, that's what you're teaching your children. Those same financial habits, that's what you're teaching the people around you. That's what you're practicing. That's what you're pouring into your family. Right? What if we meet the husband who has no financial literacy, and now we like, babe, you right? How can we save the situation? We have to have understanding too. Even me having education in finances allowed for me to understand the plays my husband was making. People who are not financially lit may look at some things and say, oh, that's too much of a risk. Oh, that's not the right investment. Oh, I wouldn't invest in that, right? But if I had the same mindset, if I wasn't educated, if I never took the time to dig into finances to see what the possibilities are, when those decisions were made, it would have been a lot of clashing and riffraff, a lot of discord, a lot of dysfunction. But because I made sure I made myself financially lit, I'm able to keep up in the conversation. I'm able to add to and bring value to the table when it comes to upping and increasing and growing our finances. I want you all to have the same experience. Some wives I know give their husbands the play. Hey, babe, I see that you've been saving the money. That's great. How about this? What do you think about this? Right? But what are we going to just wait for the man to do all the work? Make yourself an asset. Bring your part to the table. Do what it is you have the ability and the possession to do. Make it your responsibility to be financially lit. Okay? All right, you guys, I'm going to open up the floor for anybody who has some key takeaways from this conversation. Today is going to be a little bit shorter because I have church and, spiritual is priority. So yes, you guys, who is feeling it? Who is up? Who is ready? Yes, Miss Jonna, let's go, girl.
Yeah, please make sure to raise your hand just the way she did it, and just unmute yourself just so we don't all speak at the same time, please.
Oh, okay. So I want to take you back to the beginning when you said money is a tool to utilize for something greater. And then as you got into like the financial accountability, quick story, I have an ex-boyfriend who, when he initially approached me, I was not ready. And now he's opened different businesses. He's like really successful. And I kind of came back and I realized, I said, okay, well, I'm not really quite ready. And especially with the financing, so the self-development piece, I feel like I've been working on that a little bit. So I'm good there, but financial literacy is not my strongest. So So yeah, so I'm taking away a lot of key gems about being intentional, because I mean, people always say be intentional. So you're intentional in other areas, but you don't think to be intentional with your finances. So being intentional with finances was a big gem for me. And just that 5-year plan, instead of just thinking about it in your head and saying, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. No, actually write it down and break it down to 5, 3, 1 year, 6 months. So
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for being transparent and sharing that story, because it just validates the points that I'm making, right? It validates the experience that I had, and it really lets us know we're headed in the right direction to start thinking about that now, Queens, so that we're prepared, we're ready, right? And so, Jonna, don't look at that situation as like, oh, it passed me by, but look at it exactly how you're expressing it to me. Oh, okay, I now see why, right? This will be important to focus on, or this will be important to think about, or be intentional about. That's a great way to utilize our experiences and our situations and allow for them to be tools, right? And motivation for us to do something different in the future. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough for sharing your experience on that, because listen, I know this is a key component. I know how this contributed to my success, even like I said, in my marriage, right? This is important. And again, this is something that you're not gonna see this kind of information on Google when it comes to preparing for wifehood. The things that I read yesterday: learn how to cook, right? Be nice, be a nice person. That's all great, but we're living in a wealthy generation. We're living in a generation where people understand wealth is attainable. So how are we contributing to that? That's what I want us to understand and know we can do it. So let's do our part so that we're equipped and prepared to do so. All right, Miss Ma'am, I forgot your name again. It starts with an M. Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Notori, it's Notori, but you can call me Tori. So I had a question on the last tidbit you touched on with creating that relationship about financial literacy with a spouse. I've been in a situation where, like, you know, my credit score was at a 768, almost touching an 800. I've just kind of always been financially literate. I took finance was my thing. So going into being in a relationship where it may be a topic that someone may not want to talk about, how would you bridge, like, kind of make that room for two people to talk about easily?
So everything is very situational, right? Like I said, when I was expressing about our conversation about finances and things like that, that was a conversation we had once we decided we wanted to be married. So it really depends on the nature of the conversation. Are we talking about it in a general sense? Are we just having conversation? Are they trying to understand my mindset about finances, right? So there are ways that you can navigate conversations to make it just what it is. Women, sometimes we have the tendency to overshare, right? We overshare, we tell everything, right? Oh, and sometimes we lead with our money and our credit score. But guess what? The same way people use OPM, they also use MGM, my girl's money. Okay, so women, we are not leading with our finances. We are not leading with all of these great, that we're not leading with those things. We're just making sure it's good for us, and our husbands will benefit, our marriage will benefit later. Right? So you can navigate those situations to keep it just what it is, very surface. Unless there is a reason, a true purpose for you to be sharing or oversharing your financial status or situation. But again, this conversation is for you to have with yourself. Just like you said, you have an experience where you're strong in the financial area, but can every woman say that? Yeah. So my point is, if you haven't been intentional in the past, now's the time to do so. If that's your strong point, keep it. You're going to need it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. We got time for one more realization, and then we're going to wrap it up. Anybody else want to share? I love the participation. Please don't be afraid to raise your hand and come off mute. Let's have this discussion, y'all, because some of us don't have friend circles and social groups who are talking like this. Right? Some of us don't have those sisters and those moms who are going to talk about the details and how they show up, how they, we don't want to carry these things or not know what to do or where to go with them. We want to make sure that we're addressing them head on. We're being transparent with ourselves. We're looking ourselves in the mirror. We're admitting, hey, I need to work on this. I need to have a plan. I need to be more intentional, right? Because again, something like finances can sway your decision on who you choose. Okay, it really can. Or even, well, I won't say that. I'm gonna hold that one in. But yes, all right, yeah, I'm gonna hold it in a little bit. But yes, you guys, we have time. We have 1 more minute before we're gonna start wrapping up. So who is it that wants to come to the stage, share the realization, share anything that they realized from this session or experience share or anything like that? I'd love to hear these stories. Let me see, should I call on somebody? Who's in the building? They're being shy, y'all. Okay, Chris and Charlotte, are you guys there? Did you want to take away the floor at this moment? Do a wellness check.
What's up, family? Yes. I'm here. Wait, hold up. All right. So I just want to get everybody, I want to get everybody's feedback. She already went in on the financial literacy portion. I want to know what you guys are thinking, how y'all feeling about it. Give me some, I'm in the chat. So show me in the chat, put some emojis, put some fire, put some diamonds. Come on, show me what y'all thinking right now, just so I could get a little feel for the room right now. What y'all feel? Was it valuable? Did y'all get any key takeaways that you guys are going to be able to actually implement? We talked yesterday about the importance of execution. So I want to know who was able to execute some of the things that we did, that we talked about yesterday, and what were some of the things that you guys were able to get from today. Let me see in the chat. Give me some emojis. If you executed yesterday, put a 1. If you executed what we talked about yesterday, at least one thing, put a 1 on there so we can see what's going on. Let me see that. It's always lit when Erica speaks. Let's go. I'm seeing the fire emojis. I'm loving it. Let's go. 1. I like it. We getting some 1s in the chat. More executors. I'm looking for more executors. Come on. So that's the type of energy I love. I love it when people are going in. Best investment ever. Let's go. I love it. Perfect. So we got a lot of love. We're getting a lot of interaction, a lot of women in the chat doing their thing. They're actually implementing it. So that's what I love to see. So now I want to give me a 2 in the chat, if you got takeaways today that you are going to implement within the next 24 hours. Put a 2 in the chat if you are going to implement something that you learned today and you are going to be executing in the next 24 hours. Not next week, not in a month from now, but 24 hours from now, you are going to be going in. Let's go. I see you, Zaria. I see you.
I don't know, Chris, do you think I went a little too hard today? You think I did a little too much?
I think you might have given them too much sauce. They might not be prepared, but I don't know. Y'all think y'all ready for more? Come on, talk to me. Y'all ready for day 3?
Y'all gotta understand.
If you're ready for day 3, put a 3 in the chat. Let's see the 3s in the chat now. We going up.
I'm too passionate, y'all. I'm too passionate for your success. If you never had somebody to hold you accountable, that's me. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Let's go.
I know
Don't
y'all.
be too hard on my ladies. They're just thinking about their 5-year plan right now. That's all. That's what they're already planning ahead. They're executing already.
I'm loving it. I'm seeing the 3s. The 3s is coming in. The 2s is coming in. The 1s coming in. This is what it's all about. So I want you guys to be prepared, because tomorrow we are going. Queen, what are we touching base on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to talk about household management, how to manage that household physically, spiritually, mentally, financially. Y'all not gonna run from these finances now. Y'all gonna get the finances. But yeah,
facts. So we already know, as you know, I'm a man, so I already know how important it is for a woman to be able to help me manage this household, as my wife helps me with all of that. Very, very important. So you guys already know the importance of being that CEO in your household and being able to lead the way so that the family unit, the corporation of the family, could be able to execute at the highest level, because no man could be able to go out there and make 7 figures, 8 figures, and be able to sustain if his household inside is not at the level that it needs to be. You get what I'm saying? So it all starts with the house being clean, being put together right, making sure that the operations, the systems, the management of it all is making sense. And we all know little things add up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't put the socks in the right spot. Now he mad, I'm mad, she's mad, everybody's mad because the socks wasn't in the right location.
You see the trauma? A trauma.
So very important that we figure out household management, which we're going to be going in depth with tomorrow. And I hope that everybody's really taking notes and implementing and executing. I love to see the ones and twos from the execution from yesterday, and that you guys are going to be executing today. This is what it's all about. Again, I don't want to harp on it, but y'all have to know that Queen Erica does not have to do this. She does not need to be on this chat giving away the free game, teaching you guys what she knows. She's doing this out of the love and support for you guys so that people can execute at the highest level and be able to tell us, hey, this is what I did. What you told me to do day one, I implemented. And by 30 days from now, my whole life is different because of that. That's what we're looking for out of this, is to really impact those lives and change people's perspective and mindset on what it means to be wife prepped or wife ready to go into a relationship for yourself first, being self-ready, being self-developed, so that you could be able to take on that life commitment that you're going to be doing. So I really want to thank everybody for tapping in. Tomorrow, we are going to be going in on household management. And then again, this is a beta group, guys. So I hope everybody is really using this opportunity to tap in. If you haven't tapped in with the VIPs, tap in with the VIPs and get that extra time with Queen Erica so you could be able to ask her your specific questions, your specific things. There's no other area or other place where you're going to be able to ask her direct questions for $97. I promise you, it's never going to happen again. So if you have not already, tap in with the VIP and get access to that so you could chill and talk to her before the general admission, and make sure that you're prepared. So what we're going to do at the end of the week, when we give you guys the special opportunity to work with her on a one-to-one and be able to actually go on a more in-depth, longer journey. So this 5 days, she's giving you all the sauce. She's giving you the overview, the breakdown on everything. But we're going to be going for those who are ready to really take it to another level. We're going to be going on a step-by-step, day-by-day walkthrough with them throughout that journey. So that's going to be something that we're looking forward to showing to you guys, explaining to you guys what that comes with. But for right now, I really just want people executing at the highest level, because this free game right here is good enough to change your life. I guarantee it. You just got to go out and execute it. Okay. So I want to just open up the floor to somebody to tell me what was the biggest gem that they got out of this. I'm going to take two people real quick. I want 30 seconds.
You're only taking one person. Erica has a hard stop. Please be mindful. One person. She already talked to a lot of people. One person.
Oh, one person. Okay, sorry. We got a hard stop.
One person.
So I'm gonna take one person. Put your hand up in the chat so we could be able to see who's down to speak for 1 minute real quick. I don't raise your hand as the Zoom thing so that I could be able to choose you.
See those hands? Let me see those hands. Let me see them.
My girls are being shy.
Come on, don't be shy. I saw you guys asking questions, talking before, so don't leave me. Don't leave just because I'm in it now. Y'all don't want to talk. Come on, somebody.
It's my fault, y'all. I went crazy. I went too. I should have been more gentle, like a little lamb.
Thank you, Queen Jenna. Come on.
Yes, talk to us. Talk to us.
Talk.
Oh, it went on mute again. One more time.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to give someone an opportunity to speak because I didn't want to just be the person always speaking. But one big takeaway I wrote down is it's time to get serious about finances.
I love that. And what was your preconceived mindset prior to that bar? I just want to get that little bit right there. What before you taking it serious right now that you understand you got to take it serious, what were you thinking, or what were your old habits of thinking of that?
So I was doing like a little something, but it was probably like the bare minimum. So I wasn't as serious as I could really, I could get serious about it. I wasn't, I can honestly say I wasn't serious about it, but even though
so now you're going to get clarity goals on there, get specifics, because it's very important that we actually start to tangibly connect our dreams to goals that then lead to tasks, right? So we take the dream of this big vision or whatever you guys want to do, you take it, turn it into a goal. Hey, this is what I got to do in the next 5 years to get there. And then you turn that into a task. What do I got to do in the next 30 days to get to that 5-year goal? You know what I mean? So very, very important. I love that takeaway. And listen, I want to shout you out for always
Yes, Queen.
raising your hand and being vocal, because these are the people that are going to actually execute and take it to a whole nother level. Because you're engaged, because you're in the front of the class, you're not being shy, you're willing to turn on your camera, engage with us, you're gonna get results out of this information. The people that are trying to hide out, oh, I don't know, you want to be as vocal and as intense as possible to get in a result. This whole thing is a free 5-day challenge, so you can transform in 5 days. It's not for you to sit here and watch it, because you could just watch Netflix. You could watch anything else out there. But this is an interactive engagement with a high level person, so that you could be able to ask, engage, tell your revelations, so that then you actually create that transformation in your life. You see what I'm saying? So I want to give you a huge shout out, and all the other queens that have been raising their hands, engaging, turning on cameras, because this is super, super important for the transformation piece. There's no point of going on here. Then you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to courses. All that stuff is non-interactive. This is a Zoom chat with you guys to interact. Very, very important, because that's what's going to make it personalized for you to be able to take that with you, and not just, oh, I just heard that on the podcast, or I just heard that on the Zoom call. No, what can we do for you to make sure that that transformation occurs within the next 5 days? All right. So shout outs to all the queens tapping in, showing the cameras, engaging super high level. Tomorrow is going to be day 3, household management. I don't want to take any more time up, because we got to get going. I just want to tell everybody we love you. We support you on this journey as you keep building with us. Make sure you're sharing and telling a friend about what we're doing here. They could all get involved now. They can jump in. And even though we've gone through the first 2 days, there's still 3 more days of high level value that we're going to be dropping. So people can still get in for free, jump in and join the call. And if you have not already, get in the VIP and get that extra time, so you could be able to chop it up with Queen Erica and really understand more personalized what you need to do for yourself. All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think Queen Jenna wanted to say something. She raised her hand again. Oh, she just took it off.
Yeah, she dropped it, I think, in the chat.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So you guys, we will see you tomorrow. Please be on time. Please be ready. Send it to your friends. Let them catch the rest of these gems. I will be here giving you ready to go tomorrow, you guys. So I'll see you all later.
Have a good night.